Peace and blessings in this quarter box at 24. Good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty good myself. Can't complain. As always, God is good and God is great. So let's get right into it. Okay? I was down at the weigh-in earlier today at the Barclays Center for Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez Jr. And it was a beautiful day, man. It was interesting, man. I didn't get a chance to talk to Danny Garcia or, say anything to him, but I did get a chance to talk to Jose Benavidez Jr., and I did get to take a picture with him and his brother David. I took pictures with some other fighters as well, but I'm talking about Jose Benavidez and Danny Garcia. So it's interesting, man, how this fight goes tomorrow, because I feel like Jose Benavidez, who's 27-1-1 with 18 knockouts, going up against Danny Garcia, who's 36-3 with 21 knockouts. Hasn't had any knockouts lately, and it's coming off of a long layoff, man, over a year, 19 months, actually, since he fought Errol Spence. It's kind of interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how this fight unfolds, right? I feel like if Danny Garcia can't hurt Jose Benavidez, that it's going to be a long night for him. And I think the only way he'll be able to really beat, let me say this. He could beat Jose Benavidez on points. He can do that. But I think he stands the risk of getting hurt or stopped himself. That's what I think. Okay, I think Jose Benavidez is big enough, and I think 154 suits him even more because he said he walks around at like 190. Okay, I think he has a big frame. He's slim, but he got the frame, and then the strength that he has, and then he also said that he spars with his brother. He's a big boy. He got to be walking around at 200 pounds. You know what I mean? Fighting at 168. So I know he's walking around at like 200. And he's a big boy. So I think I don't know if Danny Garcia can hurt him. And if he can't hurt him, it's going to be a long night. And if he tries to outbox him, he might stand the risk of getting hurt. He might get hit with some good shots. So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. The other part of it is that what happens after that, no matter who wins, right? Because Erislandy Lara, who was at the weigh-in, said he called out he wants to fight Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia, or the winner of the fight, okay? Now, I think he favors Danny Garcia winning the fight, but he'll fight the winner regardless, okay? So it's like whoever wins the fight, what are they going to do at 154, right? Jamel Charlo is the champion, undisputed. Ryan Castano is still on the list, number 2. You got Sebastian Fundora. You got Erickson Lubin. You got Tony Harrison. You got Tim Tszyu. You got, it's some fighters there, right? So it's like, who can you beat on the list? Can Danny Garcia really stand up to them big boys like that? I don't know. And because this is both of them, it's their first time fighting at 154, it's going to be interesting to see how that happens, But Danny Garcia, he came from 135. So 135, 140, 147. Now, I'm not saying that he can't do it. Pardon me. He came from 140, 147, now 154. He wants to be a 3-division world champ, right? Absolutely, he could do it. Crawford did it. He did 135, 140, 147. So it can be done. It definitely can be done. But at the same time, Danny Garcia been fighting, man, for 15 years. He got a lot of wear and tear on his body. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, he's been fighting for a minute. So now, are you still at that level? Then, I'm thinking too, man, he's making excuses now about why he lost to Errol Spence. But you wasn't saying that before, but now it's like you're making excuses. So I don't know what that's all about. Errol Spence beat you pretty easy. I mean, I don't know if he hurt him in the fight and we just didn't see it, but I know it wasn't no hard task. Like he beat him to the punch. He hit him what he wanted to. Danny Garcia got a chin. We know that. But, like, he lost unanimously that fight. No matter how many power shots that he said he landed just as much as Errol or more. So what? You still lost the fight. So my thing is, what does that mean? Now you're making excuses talking about mentally you really wasn't there. You was forced into the fight. It was COVID. It was this. It was that. Well, I mean, that was for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Going through that. COVID affected everybody, not just one person. So it's like, don't make an excuse, man. That's all I'm saying. I like Danny Garcia, but it's like, come on, man. It is what it is. You lost the fight. And honestly, you wasn't trying to get no fight with Errol Spence until you seen Mikey Garcia, a lightweight that came up and challenged Errol Spence, showed a lot of heart. That's not something he had to do or should have had to do, but he did it. Okay? And then Sean Porter got in there with him and gave him the roughest, toughest fight of his life. And then it's like everybody now, they want to step to Errol Spence. But before that, nobody wanted to fight Errol Spence. So Danny Garcia is like, after those two fights, then it was like, oh man, maybe I could give this guy a shot. Maybe, I'll be all right. Keith Thurman running from Errol Spence, still running from Errol Spence. So the credit I will give you, Danny Garcia, is that you finally did jump in the ring with him, but you wasn't running to that fight. Okay, so let's be real about that. Now, at the press conference yesterday, Jose Benavidez said that, he respects Danny Garcia, but he said that Angel Garcia talks too much. And he's right, he does talk too much. And he says a lot of things he shouldn't say, and he's not the one in the ring also. Like Jose said, you're not the one in the ring. You're not the one that's going to be fighting. So you can talk all you want, but I'm not fighting you, and you're not fighting me, and you're not fighting any opponent. Danny has to do that, right? So, again, man, it's just going to be interesting because I don't know if Jose Benavidez or Danny Garcia, how they stack up against the current crop of 154-pounders that I named. Those are some tough fighters. Jamel is undisputed. Can they, beat Jamel Charlo? Erislandy Lara at 154. Can they beat Lara? Can they beat Sebastian Fundora? Can they beat Lubin? Can they beat Tony Harrison? Either one of them? I'm not sure about that. So it's like a crossroads fight for both of them because it's like Danny Garcia, if he loses, he has 4 losses. What does he do? Does he say, okay, you know what? This is it, man. I don't have nothing else to prove. I think it's definitely a must-win for him, right? I think Jose Benavidez, 2 losses, he still can work. He's still young. You know what I mean? I think he still can work. He could say, you know what, let me go back down to 147 and, rack up some wins there. He got a chance with down there, absolutely. I don't know. It's just that type of fight for them, right? Or he might say, you know what, maybe I'll give it up. Help my brother out and keep him undefeated and he'll be the man or the family man as far as boxing. Just got to see how it goes, man. I like Jose Benavidez, man. And one thing I do like about him is that he's very approachable, man. Like when I asked him to take a picture today, it wasn't a problem. He was joking, he was laughing, good mood. You know what I'm saying? And so the persona that people might give of him and the way he might look on TV and the stern face and all of that, no, he's a down-to-earth dude, humble, quiet. He don't really talk too much. And he, like I said, we took a picture with no problem, man. And I gave him mad props. You know what I'm saying? I gave him mad respect. And I was able to do the same thing with David Benavidez, man. Took a picture with him as well today. So I respect them, man. I have more respect for them now, getting to see them in that light. Because when you just see them on TV, man, and you hear things and you see things, you're like, you don't really know. And you might have a certain perception, but that might not be what it is. So now that I saw what I saw today and experienced what I experienced today, I have a different outlook on Benavidez, Jose, okay? So again, man, I'm looking forward to the fight, right? But I just don't know, what happens after for the winner. What are they going to do? What's their approach? But I do know that whoever wins is going to have to be ready for Lara. They're going to have to be ready for Gondora, for Lubin, Tony Harrison, because those are the 154 pounders. Okay, so if they're going to fight, they're going to keep fighting, then that's what they're going up against. All right? So that's pretty much it. That's really all I have for today. Peace and blessings in this Corner Boxing 24. Please subscribe to the page. Please leave your comments, whether it's nay or yay. All right, everybody protect yourself. COVID is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere. I still protect myself. I still wear my mask. I wore my mask while I was at the Barclays Center earlier. It was on fire. It was a nice atmosphere. Got to see a lot of people. Got to talk to a lot of people. And I love boxing, man. No boxing, no life for me. I love it. Okay? So peace and blessings in this Corner Boxing 24.